She cheated on me after old tar. Why does she still ask about me and post about me? Hello? Hello? I broke up with my ex about 8 months ago, and it has been 6 months since our last communication. Since we broke up, she has been seen dating the man she admittedly cheated on me with. I blocked her months ago on all social media platforms because, in all honesty, it hurt. A friend of mine recently revealed to me that she has been publicly posting a lot of depressing things about me, and that yesterday, while sobbing, she reached out to someone close to me and said she really misses me and was going through our old messages. She still has her cheating partner, and I'm genuinely baffled by this because at first she was emotionless and treated me like I didn't matter. She has gotten in touch with those close to me before, asking how I'm doing and saying she misses her best friend. I've asked those close to me to stop alerting me when she acts in this way, but it has been bothering me, and I just wanted an honest opinion on why a cheater would act in this way so long after the fact. I'd love some ideas as to why she would keep doing this, but I'm still not over it. Redditors' reactions. Next story after. Redditor 1. You remind me of a bottle of her favorite color of nail polish. She puts you in a drawer to try out another guy, but since it's been a while, she wants to give you another chance. Redditor 2. Just keep ignoring her and go living your best life. Either the affair fog is gone, or the guilt is finally catching up to her. Since you blocked her, I can assure you that she is accessing your social media pages through a burner. Redditor 3. There's a good reason why there are right and wrong ways to do things. She made a mistake and it keeps coming back to haunt her. Never even think that the universe is attempting to bring you two back together. Just social media, really. The mist is unquestionably dissipating, and she is now bemoaning, regretting, and descending into self-pity. Do not amuse. Story 2. Not once, but twice. My 25 girlfriend, 24, lied to me, but I remained. Hello, everyone. I'm here seeking guidance and perhaps just a different viewpoint on my situation from others. That it has anomalies is helpful. An overview of the past. My girlfriend and I have been dating for 3 years. She's the most genuine girl I've ever met, and we've had an amazing 3 years together, ready to talk before a disagreement arises. Always willing to hear my perspective or consider my opinion in a variety of different circumstances, which is a significant change from my previous committed long-term relationship. It was extremely abusive for a number of years, and it came to an end when I was duped and led on like everyone else has. That's where we are right now, in any case. To set the mental anguish I've come to share with everyone here in some context. My girlfriend, who was living with me by this point, had to visit her grandmother about 6 months into our relationship. My girlfriend has neglected to spend time with her because she is having a terrible day. She suggested that I stay at home while she went, which I told her was completely understandable. I agreed without giving it a second thought. When we go over, it usually takes a while because she has a hard time letting people know when she's ready to leave. There aren't any issues there then. Up until 3 to 4 hours later, I texted her to ask if she had an estimated return date and if she was aware of any updates regarding the condition of her grandmother. I had absolutely no idea what to expect from the response. She described how her grandmother was talking about committing suicide and having suicidal thoughts. I told her to take as much time as she needed and to please keep me informed without asking her another question. Please let me know if there is anything I can do. Skip ahead an unspecified number of hours. After that text exchange, I'd estimate it will be close to 4 hours before she gets home. I don't really recall what we talked about that evening, but she did arrive home around 10 o'clock. I am aware that there were no discussions or inquiries. Since I believed everything she said and had no reason to doubt it, why would I need to? Go ahead and fast forward to a week or so later. For some reason, no more than a gut feeling. She wasn't clutching her phone or delaying sex. I had a gut feeling. I don't know. I just felt like something was off. One evening, I got that gut feeling. Now, I'm not ashamed to admit that I looked through her phone. However, this was after my previous relationship. A man's brain can really suffer from being led around, while the love of your life casually ducks anyone she wants. But that is a completely different story and deserves its own post. On track once more. I was looking through her phone and nothing stood out as unusual. No long calls, no texts, and no strange apps. I was on the verge of giving up when I felt almost satisfied. I looked through her pictures before I had the sense to stop. Whatever I was looking for, it didn't take me very long to find a picture. A recent image of her at a bar with another man. Smiles that are wide. I immediately turned on my phone, checked the time it was taken, and scrolled through Facebook Messenger to the date and time. I was inconsolable, trembling violently, and my face was on fire. I prayed I wouldn't discover as I read the conversation that the date and time on the picture matched that exchange, but I wasn't as fortunate as you might guess from the title. I like to say that she was lying straight through her fingers. She was in a group at the bar. For whatever reason, she misled me about it, and I'm confident she never intended to inform me of it. Even now, 3 years later, as I type this, I must admit that coming to this realization still hurts. This is not an exaggeration, but this picture was taken less than 2 minutes after she texted me to say that her grandmother wanted to cook. I shook her awake and presented her with the incontestable evidence because I was so horrified by what I had seen.
Who can deduce what she said?
If anyone could guess the truth, you probably haven't encountered something similar. People who commit dishonest acts and don't come clean about them, in my experience, are never going to be honest with you about them. She then starts crying and claims nothing happened. They only wanted to meet up because an old friend was visiting the area. She was reluctant to share with me because she said all my exes wouldn't let me do anything and would always fight with me when I wanted to do things, and the cliche they wouldn't let me do anything and would always fight with me when I wanted to do things because she didn't want to annoy me. You're willing to discuss any topic and address any issues. Did she genuinely mean what she said, or was it just ignorance? Was she genuinely afraid before leaving? I did forgive her. I told her that although I no longer trusted her, I still loved her enough to give her one last chance to win my heart. Many of those were the thoughts I had during the first year or two. The main issue that I'm still struggling with 3 years later. She claimed to be her grandmother in error in order to continue with her secret meetup, which, in hindsight, was what it was. Her grandmother was considering suicide. Because of how simple it is to be in a relationship with her, I am certain that I love her. We have open lines of communication and can enjoy each other's company without constantly chatting or texting, simply having a general sense of comfort around someone. And I've always known that if I accept what she's telling me and work on it, I cannot view it as trying to trust her again because I had to actively work to make it a reality. She lied to me again after that, as stated in the title. But I think this thread is getting a bit lengthy. I do not have any evidence that she physically cheated on me either time. These are the only facts I'm aware of. She didn't hesitate to lie to me. Twice. She has pleaded with me for any chance ever since I caught her lying the second time. Due to the fact that we moved from her home state to one where my family is more numerous, she no longer really hangs out with friends at this point. She feels morally obligated to provide me with regular updates on her actions whenever she does anything at all. Please note that I did not demand this of her or specify that this was a requirement going forward. She acts in this way because she needs to, although I really dislike it when she does it because it makes me think of all that poop. I keep quiet. I don't want to dwell on the past because we are so happy, so I won't. Redditors, then. If you've read this far, I kindly request your opinion. I don't care if it's good or bad. I just need more minds to look at this. I fear that I am not approaching this issue logically because my mind has been mulling it over for far too long. I've decided that if I bring it up right now, it will only serve to undermine her and increase my discomfort. Additionally, I already know that I won't believe anything she says about that evening. I might be able to move past it if this was the only time she blatantly lied to me. Unfortunately, this was only the first occasion, and the second was not much better. I'm only saying this sparingly because it's tough to beat lying about your grandmother wanting to kick herself. I am aware that I have already posted this in another subreddit, but I desperately need assistance here. Redditors' reactions. Next story after. Redditor 1. When someone lies in that way, they don't just stop or become blatantly honest. I am aware of this because I once married one. They move it underground, become more adept at concealing it, and become more skilled at fooling you. See, what they do is present you with these brightly colored truths, possibly, to divert your attention away from what they don't want you to know. The causes for why it still affects you. The lies do not fit with the person you think you know. You know you were never told the truth. Something is niggling at you right now. The person who claims to love you could lie so easily and convincingly. Your face? She has done more behind your back than you are aware of. I'd bet money. Grab your spine with your back, my friend. Best regards. OP. Follow up from a Redditor. Immediately. The OP experienced this, and everything is going well. When he realizes what she has done and what it is, he stays by her side 2 or more times. You know, Op, and you do. You're merely checking what you already know here. You'll never again have faith in her. If you want to live that kind of life, then Redditor 2. Let me describe my emotions after learning the truth about the lies and how they affected how I felt about my ex. You no longer have the woman you cared about, trusted, and loved. You no longer have your relationship as you once knew it. Everything that was important to you has changed, and it's not for the better. She willingly destroyed your family, your relationship with your loved ones, your sense of trust in her and you. Someone who causes hurt in a relationship by lying will never comprehend the suffering. She has never been held accountable for her lies, so they will keep happening. Have you ever heard of a thief telling a judge that he had repeatedly stolen from a certain business? They deny it and say it was the first time, Judge. Do you really think she has lied to you just twice in order to spend time with another man? I hardly think so. She may appear to be completely open to you, but I think she does a better job of keeping things from you. It is abhorrent for anyone to use their ailing grandmother to see another man while also claiming that she is suicidal. Some relationships lessons I've picked up over the years. 1. A person's past behavior is the best predictor of their future behavior. 2. Cheaters rely on their partner's love and trust rather than their partner's stupidity to cover up their cheating. First off, let me express my regret for what happened to you. I have visited there, in the ruins and fragments of years of labor, long-term love torn down by the egotistical actions of one person. I sincerely hope that life has brought you happiness, but as for my current circumstance, it seems like we never lost that spark. Everyone's stories of infidelity or cheating have something in common. We are a very happy couple and spend the majority of our free time together. She doesn't make plans with friends unless I actively encourage her to, so in some ways I almost think it's a little unhealthy, to the point where I don't worry about what she's doing whenever she goes to the store or goes out to lunch with a friend. I really worked hard to get there again. I genuinely believe that over time, my confidence in her has grown, not entirely in any way, but it is different from where I was at the beginning. But not entirely, as I previously stated. I may not be concerned about what she is doing or who she is with, but I am nonetheless concerned. I wonder who she was hanging out with that night. Why was it necessary for her to fabricate her grandmother's desire to kill herself? After I had already forgiven her the first time, she felt the need to do it again. I appreciate your perspective on my circumstances. It has been very helpful to me as I work through my own ideas. Redditor 3. Despite knowing deep down that she is untrustworthy, you don't want advice. Instead, you want people to persuade you that you can trust her going forward. You're bothered by your subconscious. Whatever it is, wait 10 years before having children with her to be certain that she has changed. I'm not here to persuade, Op answer. I've already persuaded you. And at that point, I persuaded myself that she was incapable of engaging in any physical activity.
Yes, I am fully aware of what an idiot and doormat I sound like as I type.
Even so, it happened again, and here I am acting like a moron. To be completely honest, I detest the idea of finding out if someone I trust has lied to me. That's all, but when it's for my Sue, it seems as though I'm willing to compromise my standards. I appreciate your advice. Redditor 4. If you won't leave, which is the right thing to do, I suggest this: time for me to get downvoted. Sit her down and tell her that the extremes she goes to prove she is not lying are pointless. Tell her you are beginning to trust her, but one thing holds you back. Tell her you need a true, full confession. Tell her it may not be fair, but you don't believe everything she has said about her past mistakes and even believe she may have made more or at least done far worse on those events. So here is the deal. She tells you absolutely everything, and if you don't 100s believe her by the end, you are leaving. Tell her even an ounce of argument means you are leaving. You don't care how she feels about this. You absolutely must be convinced you know the full truth or you walk. Tell her even a hint of holding back means you leave. Then sit silently until she starts telling the truth. Be as cold and emotionless as possible the whole time. No anger, no tears, no anything. She must be convinced you are done. You already know she is still lying or you wouldn't be here. Now if she can't fess up, you need to leave. You will have given her absolutely every chance to be open and honest with you. If by some miracle she truly confesses, if that 1 in 10,000 miracle happens, well then you need to remember how long she has poop all over you and make your decisions accordingly. Op answer. I appreciate the time you took to write this and give me your input, but But here's my look on the situation. It is hard to explain, but I'll do my best to do so. Thankfully, I've had the privilege to live in America. Running water, right to guns, toilets. Regardless of the things I've been through in my life, regardless of the horrible things I've been through and the hand I was dealt, that being said, I've been lied to by every important major figure in my life, abused and made to feel like nothing. That's a short and sweet summary. Luckily, I've come out on the other side as what I'd consider an upstanding adult. Humans are incredibly deceptive, ready to lie if they feel there's any inclination you don't know the full truth. I try to keep that thought out of my mind often, as it's true for 100 of the population. If someone doesn't want you to know something and there's no proof, that's the end of that. So, in retrospect, I could sit her down and do this step for step, the sad truth that I've come to realize, but I feel a part of me won't accept. She could tell me the truth word for word, exactly as it happened from the moment she left my house way back when, and it'd be from the horse's mouth. My head would never be able to tell if it was indeed the truth. If you can tell me how you decipher the truth from falsehoods, I'd really like to hear your opinion. I appreciate your thoughts, but I don't think I will be approaching it this way, though. Only due to the fact that I don't like accusing people with baseless information. Redditor 5, plenty of women out there, and you think staying with someone you don't trust is in any way a good idea. You are young and have a lot of years ahead. You really want to waste those years wondering if she's lying again. She told you her grandmother was having suicidal thoughts for the sole purpose of being with some other dude. Did she even meet her grandmother to begin with? Because it sounds like the whole damn thing was planned to keep you from coming along. She found an activity that you were not wanting to do when she met some other guy. Duck that noise. Answer. I see where you're coming from. I've also thought thus, but as you can read in some of my replies, I hate assuming things without baseless info, as much as I'd like to let the thoughts I have in the back of mine creep in. The ones that agree with the stuff you're saying, how do I even know she went there in the first place? Yes, you are right. How do I know? Asking her wouldn't do me any good on finding that put either. Because sadly, even if she looks me dead in the eyes and told me verbatim what happened that night, I wouldn't believe her. Strangely enough, though, I trust her on the very rare occasion she goes out, or goes to the store, or anything like that. You can read more in my other replies about it, her examples. Regardless of the situation, I agree with you and don't agree with you. It's hard to actually just decide to say ducking everything after a lot of hard work and love. Story 3. Karma does happen, it just takes time. More than 3 years have passed since I discovered my ex having an affair with a coworker. We were married for 8 years after dating for 10, because of the way she was treating me like trash during our final year of dating. It was brutal. She actually told me, "You're not the partner I need to take the next step in my career." She had the man move in with her before the divorce was even finalized. Because I still needed to co-parent with her, I had to see the two of them together. The first phase of karma struck about 1.5 years after the divorce. She lost her well-known 6-figure job. The boyfriend later lost his high-profile 6-figure job a month later as well. So their combined income dropped from over $400 per year to nothing in a 2-month period. My ex started a new career as a marriage family counselor while the BF found another job. Anyone using her without first checking her background would be insane. So I ran into my former stepdaughter a few days ago at a sporting event. My ex-partner dropped her off, and when my stepdaughter saw me, she ran over, gave me a bear hug, and sat next to me. She starts telling me that she believes her mother is experiencing another midlife crisis because she constantly quarrels with her boyfriend. He just sits there and takes it, I guess, when her mother yells at him. She then expresses her sympathy for the man. She then informs me that her mother has a 13-page spreadsheet with tasks for him to complete. Her mother checks each item after it has been completed to ensure it has been completed correctly. I don't feel sorry for the man because he was married and having an affair with the mother of his children. Then I turn to face my ex and remark, "Gee, the grass isn't so green over there." Redditors. Reaction. Redditor 1. I feel ya. My ex-husband private parts broke. Had surgery and now pisses on himself because he can't feel it. Redditor 2. No bloody wonder some people end up getting totally garbage help. Redditor follow-up. I work in the mental health field, and I have a theory that most of us make a career out of looking for answers. There are a lot of severely ducked-up individuals in this field. Redditor 3. I had to give my ex-wife everything in the divorce just to keep my pension, and she had her app in my house the week after I left before we even signed the papers. I had 3 to my name. Now she lives in a dinky apartment next to teeth-alcoholic loser lover boy. I've had huge raises in the last 2 years, bought 3 new vehicles, and have more money than I've ever had. So much so that I'm able to give pretty good to church and charity, while she was disfellowshipped for adultery. It's been a brutal 2 years journey after a 27-year marriage and finding out her multiple affairs and her alienation of my children. But I can truly say I'm in the best health and financial position of my life, and my kids are starting to see what she'd done to it. Things are really looking up. Redditor follow-up. This is the best thing to happen. Living your best life is sweet revenge.